Considering assisted living or memory care for yourself or a loved one is a big step, and Copper Canyon Tucson offers exactly what you would look for in a community: warmth and compassion. Sam Nunez helps plan and implement many of the life enrichment activities there, and he's here today to give us a glimpse into how these activities benefit the residents. Great to have you on, Sam.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
So first up, tell us a little bit more about Copper Canyon Assisted Living and Memory Care and what you guys do.
Yeah, we've been up here for the last approximately 10 years up in the northwest part of Tucson. And it's a beautiful location, beautiful facility. And some of the programs that we provide here is looking at developing the individual needs of the residents. So we try to encompass their psychosocial needs, their spiritual needs, and their physical needs, for exercise programs as well too, though. So, and it's very important that we look at that. So we look at the monastery ideas of the natural process for the residents and getting their input and family input to develop the programs for our residents here.
Well, just because we get older doesn't mean that we can't continue enjoying these activities, and doesn't mean that we don't need that mental stimulation and physical in a lot of ways. So describe life enrichment programs and what that actually is.
So some of the life enrichment programs we have here is like we have a gardening group outdoors, beautiful fountain outdoors. We have the spa, sensory spa, which is a nice room where if they feel like they want to look at the stars or some artificial stars in there, artificial fish in there, different sounds in there. I was working with a group last week where they wanted to go to the beach. So I had about a half a dozen residents there. And so I put on the big screen TV, different beaches throughout the different areas. And then we went into their memory. And before they know, they were talking about the beaches that they had visited themselves from different countries. And the most popular beach that they enjoyed was, of course, Waikiki in Hawaii, So it brought back those fun memories as well, too, though. At the same aspects, we have approximately 12 veterans here. And growing up in a veteran family, it's very important that we look at encompassing our veterans and thanking them for their services, and our heroes and their families as well too, though. So we try to focus in on those individuals as well too, though. So any of the veteran celebrations or holidays we bring in those as well too, though. And as well as each of our veterans get a packet of information and all the veteran stuff they have in there, including a t-shirt thanking them for their service as well too, though, as well. One thing that we also did too, though, is as we try to more and more of our cultures and different cultures in there, is that this month, starting at the middle of this month, the next month is National Hispanic Month. So we're going to do a week of special Hispanic foods. The dietary will be incorporating with the residents. We've got the residents' input of music that they want involved in as well too, though. And then one of the successful programs that we introduced was Loteria, which is Mexican bingo. And not only it's the first time that some of our Hispanic residents know what that's about, but some of our non-Hispanic residents has given them opportunity to learn some different words and languages. And what's nice about Loteria is that it's Mexican bingo, but it's more of photographs and pictures of different landscapes of Mexico or words and stuff like that. So even though they might not know the Spanish word, we show them the photograph and they could identify the photograph on their cards and match it that way. So that's been a fun aspect as well too, though. And even though they might have different levels of memory challenges, they could continue to learn on an individual basis on the groups that we have. So.
I mean, what could somebody want more for their loved one or for themselves than somebody and a group of people enriching their lives? I mean, it warms my heart to hear about all these experiences that really make a difference in their lives. And it must be very special for you too, to come up with these ideas and then watch them light up, right? What's it like for you?
I look at our residents as living history books. They have lived that history, and we can engage in their history and their memory. And just because they might not be able to remember what happened a week ago, they could tell us what happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And a lot of them have life experiences that we could learn from as well, though. And they've also made changes as well, too, though. We have people here that have worked with Mr. Ted DeGrazio, the artist here in Tucson, as well, too, though. We've had some of our veterans that fought in the Korean War and Vietnam War heroically and were recipients of the Purple Heart, those. So those are the life stories that we engage in, and as well as our life director will put together a bio board and individualize those outside their rooms. It helps to cue them in their rooms, but also tells a little bit of their history to our other family members, our staff, and volunteers. So when we go meet that person, we have a little knowledge of them, and we could engage in their life stories with them as well.
Walking history books. I mean, what a better way to honor and recognize their lives. I mean, decades and decades of experience, like you're saying, and they have so much to give back to us. And that's why we have to take care of them, because we're all going to be there one day. So Sam Nunez, pleasure to have you on. Thanks for all the great information. And to get more details about everything we talked about, call 520-293-3114, or you can visit coppercanyonret.com.